Hello, so my name is Agnes Leroy. I am a software engineer working at Zama, working on the GPU acceleration of TFHE. So the first time I heard about FHE was in 2020. It was COVID lockdown in France, and I was on maternity leave for my first child. And I was contacted by a recruiter about this company named Zama that was developing fully homomorphic encryption technology and needed some GPU engineer to make it faster. And at the time, I was working in the power grid, a main company in France that's named RTE. And I was a bit further away from mathematics. I was more focusing on software development. But I was missing the math a lot. So I was like thinking it would be a great idea to come back to GPU programming on something that's very much math related. So that's how I came to work in the FHE field. So actually, the only scheme I know a lot about is TFHE. So maybe I could say it's my favorite. I don't know if I really have a favorite, but that's the one I know most, and that's the one I'm working with every day. So we are very close, this scheme and I. So what made me want to work in FHE? I think this question for me was a lot about why would I work with a cryptography related kind of job. Before that, I used to work in physics. So I started my PhD was about computational fluid dynamics, so fluid simulation. I was already doing GPU acceleration for that at that time. Then I worked in the research area on that topic for 5 years in a company named EDF. And that's after that I changed to doing more software development related work. But as I said, I was missing the math a lot. And so when I was contacted to work on a cryptography related topic, I found it very interesting because cryptography is a lot of engineering and a lot of math. So it's something I was kind of attracted to immediately, even though it was not my primary field of research. So yeah, I think that's and then working on FHE itself, I think any topic in like advanced cryptography is very appealing to me. I would like to work on zero knowledge proof or MPC or all these topics are very interesting to me. It's just that at the moment there are so many challenges in terms of performance related to FHE that for me as a GPU developer, it's very exciting. So I'm really glad to have made this change in my life. When I applied at Zama, I looked at the white paper where that described the TFHE scheme basically, and I looked at the programmable bootstrap algorithm, and I was applying for a job to accelerate this on GPU, so I wanted to check whether this was a kind of a good candidate. And it was not. So it's typically the kind of algorithm you don't want to try to accelerate on GPU because it's that it's not going to be very well parallelized. The programmable bootstrap is a huge sequential loop with lots of computations at each iteration. So when I saw it, I was like, this is a big challenge because to make this faster on GPU, it will require changing the algorithm. Basically, we need to have new techniques to accelerate this, which is very interesting, but also more like a bit unsecure. You don't know if somebody will come up with a different approach and make it possible to have really good GPU acceleration for that. It actually happened. So now we work with a version of the programmable bootstrap algorithm that's much better suited to GPU, and we have much better results in terms of performance than what we had during the first year or so that I worked on this topic. Where is the industry going? I mean, this is a complicated question. At the moment, what I see from my point of view, it seems like there will be a adoption of FHE in the blockchain area. It's starting to happen, and it's very interesting. It can unlock lots of opportunities for the blockchain itself, and of course for FHE. So it's going to be very exciting to see this happen in the next few years. Even next year already is going to start truly happening. So at the moment, I think this is the most dynamic change in the industry sector regarding FHE, and it makes sense because the blockchain has this kind of appeal to advanced cryptography techniques, so it's consistent, you know. Then whether or not for AI we will also see a kind of massive adoption of FHE, I think this is a bit further away, but I think it will happen eventually. It's just not the same time scale in my opinion, just because of performance issues. So definitely the thing I'm focusing on, and I think that's a key point in making FHE technology used every day by millions of people, is performance. And GPUs for that is a means of getting better performance, but there are also many people working on hardware design for FHE. And when I say longer time scale for AI adoption, I'm thinking more like it's longer time scale because we need to develop hardware dedicated to these kind of computations, and that will require more time than just using GPUs to accelerate it. But yeah, definitely performance is still an issue, and especially the programmable bootstrap performance is an issue. So that's really something I think there will still be lots of improvements on that in the next few years on the cryptography side of things. Well, for anyone who starts working on FHE, whether research or in the industry, I think the resources on the Discord channel are very useful. So I think yeah, I would advise people to join the Discord and ask questions and participate in that community, because it is very nice. People are very friendly there and very helpful. So yeah, I would say that's for me my entry point to this type of to the FHE community would be the Discord channel.